Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMtrading. Today's August 21st, 2019, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the major economic events of the day coming out of Canada at 2:30 South African time, monthly CPI number coming out. It's an inflationary report. I don't think it's going to be any too much surprises or move the market too much, but again, you do want to know what's coming out. Now later today at 8 o'clock South African time, you have the FOMC meeting minutes, which is basically the Federal Reserve explaining to Congress why they decreased interest rates last time. And it also gives a chance for traders to read into the words of the Federal Reserve as they discuss policy moving forward. So it's an important number that's coming out, and traders do look into this number. Now, looking at the greater market, looking at the Forex symbols, British pound rallies to resistance. We're going to take a look at that, while euro really stays very flat, okay, in a 25 pip range. Now, looking at the Dow Jones, it fills the gap and sells off yesterday. While we're looking at the commodities, gold hovers in the $1,500 range, while oil remains steady. Didn't sell off like the Dow Jones, which we've seen them trade together and in tandem for quite some time. So that's an interesting anomaly right there. And looking at the stocks, Microsoft and Apple hold up while the general market sold off. We're going to take a look at that as well. And lastly, looking at Bitcoin, takes a nosedive yesterday, and we'll take a look at that. So let's see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're going to start here with the Euro USD as a formality. I mean, if you look at this, we're trading really in a very tight range. 1106 is your upper limit. Your lower limit is 1072, which is about a 30 pip range. Okay, nothing to really write home about. And this is really classic summer trading. Okay, looking at a 4-hour chart just to give you a perspective of it. I mean, we did lower, we did sell off from last week into this week, but we're pretty much consolidating in this area, and that's what I want to highlight. Okay, so in either direction, once we break these two barriers, either the upper limit of 1106 or the lower limit of 1072-ish level, we may see a correction in that side. Okay, so if we break above it, we may see it rally up to the 112, even 111-ish level. Okay, 111.50-ish level and around that range. Okay, but if it does break, we may see new lows for the year. Now, looking at the GBP USD, we're also looking at a 1-hour chart. We rallied up to 121.75. Okay, which is a decent rally. It's about a 100 pip rally since our lows of 120.75-ish level. So with that said, okay, that was a pretty decent move yesterday. Now today, looking at today, okay, ultimately we are trading close to that resistance level, so I'd be more inclined to sell this. Okay, but just be careful because it does look like it wants to set up maybe a upwards momentum here, but I don't want to celebrate that too soon. It's really got to break this 121.75-ish level to really show some sort of strength on the upside. So keep that in mind as you trade that today. Now, jumping to commodities, again, not much going on here. 1494 we traded yesterday in gold. We're trading right now at 1503. Mostly because the Dow Jones sold off. But remember, it's light volume. It's the summertime. Okay, I'd give it another 2 weeks to really start reading into this. Now, looking at oil, we didn't sell off here. Okay, we're trading at $57.34. $56.34 on the price per barrel. Okay, whereas the general market, if you look at the Dow Jones, it sold off yesterday. Okay, it sold off quite decently from 26,190-ish level down to 26,900-ish level, over a 250 point move. Now we're trading at just shy of that 26,000 level. Now altogether, okay, this is light volume. Okay, so like I said, I'm not going to read into it. This was our gap up, and this was the fill in the gap. Okay, so we may see it rally today, okay, perhaps. As also this week, we do have a major event called the Jackson Hole Symposium. It's going to happen on Friday, where most of the bankers, central bankers around the world, plus all the financial gurus of the world kind of meet, and they discuss policy moving forward as well. So that's going to be kind of interesting how that's going to play out. Now, again, I don't want to read too much into this because it's still summertime and it's lighter volume. However, when we look at the majors, okay, they didn't really sell off. Looking at Microsoft, this was the gap up comparatively to the Dow Jones, but it didn't fill the gap, held that level. Okay, if I look at Apple as well, same story. Okay, so these two may really push us higher if that's going to be the case. Okay, the NASDAQ, however, did sell off. Okay, if we look at that, All right, it did sell off. It didn't hit that, didn't fill in the gap, but it did sell off a little bit. Okay, so with that said, a little bit of mixed volume, mixed messages here, but you know, again, it's very light volume, so I don't want to read too much into it. Now, lastly, let's discuss Bitcoin as it took a nosedive yesterday. Okay, trading from 10,918ish level down to 10,188ish level. Okay, and it's been really respectful of this Fibonacci retracement levels. Okay, I mean, your really play of the day was this yesterday, shorting it. Okay, if you got that, we did discuss it yesterday, shorting it around this area, and sure enough, that's what happened. Okay, it didn't break above this 10,900ish level. You got that confirmation, you know, just to play the range, could have taken that really well. Now, to sell, to buy it around this area, I would start, okay, a little bit, not to get too aggressively around this area. And you see it's working out maybe to get a little bit more aggressive, but two factors. Number one, we're in the summer. Number two, it did take a nosedive, so I'm a little bit concerned about that. But to buy just a little bit just to test it out, I don't think it's the wrong thing to do. But that's something you can consider to do that later today, okay? But with that said, you want to see it consolidate first before you take that bigger move in, and you know, just test the waters by buying a very, very small amount just to give you an idea of which way it's going to go. But that's you know, this is a higher probability trade. It is at the bottom of its range, so you know, to start building a position around this area isn't completely irresponsible. Okay, so that's something you could look at as that trades today. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.